The maestro stands at the center of the world. Not a world of maps and borders, but a world of sound and feeling. He is the heart of the orchestra, the living pulse of the community he serves. His purpose is simple yet profound. He listens, he feels, he seeks harmony in all things. It is more than just a musical concept for him. It is the very essence of a life well lived. He can sense when a single note is out of tune, not just with the music, but with the spirit of the player who produced it. This sensitivity extends beyond the concert hall, into the quiet corners of the community where people interact, share, and sometimes struggle. His senses are finely tuned instruments of perception. He hears the unspoken words in a musician's sigh, the tension in a violinist's shoulder, the hesitation in a horn player's breath. These are the subtle dissonances that signal a deeper imbalance. He notices when someone feels unheard or when a distribution of tasks feels unfair. It is an instinct, a deep-seated knowledge that true harmony cannot exist where injustice or neglect resides. He believes that every person, like every note in a score, has a unique and essential place. When one part is diminished, the entire composition suffers, losing its richness and its truth. This quest for fairness is not a duty, it is his nature. He understands that a community, much like an orchestra, is a delicate ecosystem. It requires constant attention and care. The maestro moves through his world with a quiet awareness, observing the flows of energy between people. He sees the young cellist struggling with self-doubt and the veteran percussionist feeling overlooked. He recognizes that these are not minor issues, but fundamental threats to the collective harmony. His role is to gently intervene, to adjust the dynamics, and to ensure that every voice has the space and support it needs to resonate clearly and confidently. Everything is connected. A sour note on the stage might be rooted in a worry at home. A disagreement between sections might stem from a misunderstanding weeks prior. The maestro sees these threads. He knows that the music they create together is a direct reflection of their relationships with one another. Therefore, his work begins long before the first downbeat. It begins with creating an environment of profound respect and mutual understanding. He's not just a conductor of music, he's a conductor of human connection, striving to create a masterpiece of community where every individual can truly flourish. To build a sanctuary of sound, one needs both structure and space. The maestro understands this delicate balance. He is the architect of an environment where rules and freedom coexist, not as opposites, but as partners in the creation of well-being. The rules are clear and simple, like the fundamental principles of music theory. They provide the necessary framework for collaboration. Everyone must be on time. Everyone must respect their instrument and the instruments of others. Everyone must listen as much as they speak or play. These are not meant to restrict, but to enable. They are the trellis upon which the vine of creativity can grow strong and true. Within this clear structure, the maestro cultivates an atmosphere of profound freedom. He knows that true artistry cannot be commanded, it must be invited. Each musician is an individual with a unique voice, a personal history etched into their very sound. He encourages them to bring their whole selves to the music. He gives them the liberty to interpret a phrase, to add a touch of personal color, to take a risk. The rules ensure they are all playing from the same score, but the freedom allows them to infuse that score with life, passion, and soul. This balance is essential for the health of every single person in the ensemble. This philosophy extends to every aspect of the orchestra's life. Responsibilities are distributed with care and consideration, ensuring no single person or section is overburdened. The maestro believes that well-being is a prerequisite for beautiful music. A tired mind cannot be creative. A stressed body cannot play with grace. He ensures there are periods of rest, moments for quiet reflection, and opportunities for joyful, non-musical connection. He is a guardian of the orchestra's collective energy, knowing that when people feel safe, respected, and cared for, they are free to give their very best, both to the music and to each other. Ultimately, the maestro's approach is about empowerment. He provides the map, the musical score, the community guidelines, but he trusts each individual to navigate their own path. He does not dictate every nuance or control every interaction. Instead, he creates the conditions for excellence to emerge naturally. He shows that true leadership is not about wielding authority, but about fostering a shared sense of purpose and responsibility. In his orchestra, the rules provide clarity and the freedom provides dignity. Together, they create a space where every musician can thrive, and the music, in turn, can soar. Trust is the invisible thread that holds an orchestra together. It is more vital than the strings on a violin or the wood of a clarinet. The maestro's greatest task is to weave this thread, connecting person to person, instrument to instrument, until the entire ensemble breathes as one. He builds this trust not through grand speeches or dramatic gestures, but through small, consistent acts of integrity and empathy. He looks every musician in the eye. He listens to their concerns, musical or personal, with his full attention. He demonstrates day after day that his commitment is not just to the music, but to the people who make it. This trust creates a powerful synergy, a state where the whole becomes infinitely greater than the sum of its parts. It begins with the relationship between the maestro and the musicians. They must trust that his guidance comes from a place of deep musical understanding and a genuine desire for collective success. In turn, he must trust them to bring their skill, dedication, and vulnerability to the performance. This mutual faith allows them to take risks together, to explore the deepest emotional landscapes of a symphony without fear. It transforms a technical exercise into a shared spiritual journey, a powerful act of co-creation. The synergy then spreads horizontally, from musician to musician. The violinists trust the cellists to provide a solid foundation. The woodwinds trust the brass to enter with precision and power. This is more than just musical coordination. It is a form of profound communication. They learn to anticipate each other's phrasing, to respond to the slightest shift in tone or rhythm. They are listening not just to the notes, but to the intention behind them. This deep, active listening, born of trust, is what allows for the seamless blending of dozens of individual voices into one glorious, unified sound. This web of trust and synergy extends beyond the music itself, shaping the very culture of the orchestra. When people trust each other, they are more willing to be open, to offer help, and to celebrate each other's successes. Conflicts are resolved with respect, and challenges are faced as a united front. The maestro knows that the quality of their relationships directly impacts the quality of their art. The warmth, cohesion, and shared purpose felt off stage are what give the music its soul-stirring power on stage. He is not merely leading a group of musicians, he is nurturing a family, bound by a shared love for harmony. No one creates harmony alone. The maestro's vision of a thriving community is a duet, performed in perfect partnership with the nourisher. Where he tends to the harmony of sound and spirit, she tends to the tangible well-being of the body and the heart. The nourisher understands that a beautiful performance is fueled by more than just passion. It is fueled by wholesome food, by moments of rest, and by a sense of belonging. She is the quiet force who ensures that the rehearsal space is not just functional, but welcoming. She provides the comforting meal that soothes frayed nerves after a long day of practice. Their collaboration is seamless, a model of the very synergy they hope to inspire in others. The maestro might notice the collective energy of the orchestra is flagging, their focus beginning to drift. He doesn't need to speak. A simple, shared glance with the nourisher is enough. She understands immediately, and soon appears with trays of hot tea and nourishing snacks, transforming a moment of fatigue into an opportunity for connection and rejuvenation. She creates the spaces where the community can gather, talk, and simply be away from the intense demands of the music. Her care provides the foundation upon which the maestro's artistic ambitions can be built. The nourisher's role is a constant, gentle reminder that peace and harmony are co-created. The maestro can shape the music, but she shapes the environment in which the music is born. She knows the favorite food of the shy violist and remembers the birthday of the timpanist. These are not small details. They are the building blocks of a community where every individual feels seen, valued, and cared for. Her presence ensures that the pursuit of artistic excellence never comes at the cost of human dignity. She is the grounding force, the earth to the maestro's sky, ensuring the orchestra remains rooted in compassion. Together, the maestro and the nourisher demonstrate that leadership is a multifaceted act of service. It is both the grand unifying gesture of the baton and the quiet personal act of offering a kind word. They show the orchestra that true strength lies in collaboration and mutual support. Their partnership is a living example of how different gifts can work together to create a whole that is peaceful, resilient, and deeply harmonious. The music they ultimately produce is a testament not only to the maestro's direction, but also to the profound, sustaining care provided by the nourisher. The maestro's closest friend and collaborator is the gridworker. While the maestro works with the fluid, emotional currents of music, the gridworker deals in structure, systems, and connections. He is the one who sees the invisible architecture of the community, the pathways of communication, the networks of support, the flow of resources. He understands that for a community to be truly healthy, it cannot rely solely on a central leader. It must develop its own internal strength, its own capacity for self-organization. The maestro and the gridworker share a fundamental belief. True leadership empowers others to lead themselves. Their friendship is one of complementary visions. The maestro might identify a need within the orchestra, for example, a desire for younger members to receive mentorship from senior players. He brings this observation to the gridworker, who then designs a simple, elegant system to facilitate it. The gridworker doesn't command people to participate. He creates a clear and accessible pathway, a grid of opportunity, and allows people to connect freely. He builds the website for sharing scores, sets up the forum for discussing ideas, and maps out the logistics that allow small, independent groups to flourish within the larger whole. Together, they foster a culture of distributed leadership and individual freedom. They do not believe in a rigid, top-down hierarchy. Instead, they encourage every member of the orchestra to contribute their unique gifts. The first chair violinist might have a talent for organizing social events. The percussionist might have a knack for repairing instruments. The gridworker helps create the channels for these talents to be recognized and utilized, while the maestro provides the encouragement and validation. This approach allows the orchestra to become a more resilient, dynamic, and intelligent organism, capable of adapting and solving its own problems. The ultimate goal of their partnership is to make themselves progressively less necessary. They lead by encouraging everyone to take ownership of their shared environment. The gridworker builds the scaffolding, and the maestro breathes life and purpose into it. But it is the musicians themselves who build the house. This fosters a profound sense of agency and pride throughout the ensemble. They are not just followers, they are active participants in the creation of their own harmonious world. The friendship between the maestro and the gridworker is a testament to a modern form of leadership based on trust, empowerment, and the celebration of collective intelligence. The maestro holds a deep and abiding respect for tradition. He stands on the shoulders of giants, the great composers and conductors who came before him. The scores of Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms are sacred texts to him, filled with centuries of wisdom, passion, and human experience. He approaches this musical heritage with humility and devotion, studying the history, understanding the context, and striving to honor the original intent of the composer. He knows that these traditions provide an essential anchor, a connection to a shared cultural memory that gives their music depth and resonance. He teaches the orchestra the importance of this lineage, ensuring the foundations are strong. However, the maestro is not a prisoner of the past. He understands that music, like life itself, must evolve or it will stagnate. Tradition is not a monument to be admired from a distance. It is a living river that must be fed by new streams. He is not afraid to innovate, to re-examine a classic piece with fresh eyes, or to introduce a bold new work by a contemporary composer. He encourages his musicians to question, to experiment, and to find new ways of expressing timeless emotions. He believes that the greatest respect one can pay to tradition is to keep it relevant and alive for the current generation. This balance between respect and innovation is a delicate dance. The maestro navigates it with care, always initiating a dialogue with his orchestra. When he proposes a new interpretation or a challenging modern piece, he explains his reasoning. He invites discussion and debate. He wants the musicians to be active partners in the process of discovery, not passive recipients of his commands. This collaborative approach ensures that innovation feels like a shared adventure rather than a jarring disruption. It builds a bridge between the comfort of the familiar and the excitement of the unknown, allowing the orchestra to grow without losing its roots. Ultimately, the maestro's vision is to create a continuous, unbroken line of musical expression that stretches from the distant past into the unfolding future. He sees his role as that of a caretaker and a creator. He preserves the masterpieces of history while simultaneously commissioning the masterpieces of tomorrow. By doing so, he ensures that the orchestra is not just a museum of sound, but a vibrant laboratory of creativity. He teaches his community that it is possible to honor where you come from, while courageously forging the path to where you are going. This dynamic tension is the very source of their artistic vitality. At the heart of the maestro's creative world is his relationship with his little brother, the eternal child. This is not a bond of authority and obedience, but one of pure, uninhibited creation. The eternal child represents the spirit of play, curiosity, and endless possibility. He is the one who hears a melody in the falling rain, a rhythm in a bouncing ball. He approaches music not with reverence or discipline, but with a sense of wonder and joy. He is constantly experimenting, combining sounds in unexpected ways, and asking the question, what if? This playful spirit is the lifeblood of musical evolution. The maestro cherishes this connection, for it keeps him from becoming too rigid or too serious. When he finds himself stuck in the complexities of a difficult score or the politics of the orchestra, a visit with his brother is the perfect remedy. The eternal child will sit at the piano and play a delightfully simple, nonsensical tune. Or he will suggest that the violins should try to sound like buzzing bees. These ideas, while seemingly naive, often contain a spark of genius. They break through the maestro's established patterns of thinking and open his mind to entirely new creative avenues. This partnership illustrates a profound truth about creativity. It requires both mastery and innocence. The maestro possesses the skill, the knowledge, and the discipline gained through years of dedicated practice. The eternal child possesses the untamed imagination that has not yet learned about rules or limitations. Together they are a complete creative force. The maestro can take his brother's raw, playful ideas and shape them with his expertise, transforming a whimsical notion into a sophisticated and moving piece of music. He gives form to his brother's freedom, and his brother gives fire to his form. The influence of the eternal child is felt throughout the orchestra. The maestro encourages his musicians to rediscover their own inner child, to remember the simple joy that first drew them to music. He sets aside time for improvisation and experimentation, creating a safe space where mistakes are seen as opportunities for discovery. This keeps the music from ever becoming stale or merely technical. It ensures that every performance contains an element of spontaneity and surprise. The bond with his brother is a constant reminder to the maestro that the most profound art is often born from the most humble and playful beginnings. Why do we strive for harmony? For the maestro, the answer is clear. Harmony is not merely an aesthetic goal, it is the fundamental condition for a peaceful, healthy, and thriving community. It is the sound of things working well together. It is the feeling of belonging, of being part of something larger than oneself. In an orchestra, when harmony is achieved, you can feel it physically. The sounds from dozens of different sources merge into a single resonant wave that washes over the audience and the players alike. It is a moment of profound unity, a glimpse of perfection. This principle extends far beyond the concert hall. A community without harmony is filled with discord. It is marked by conflict, misunderstanding, and wasted energy. People work against each other instead of with each other. Talents are suppressed, and potential goes unrealized. In such an environment, there is no peace, only a constant draining friction. The maestro sees it as his life's work to counteract these forces of division. He believes that building a harmonious community is the most important composition of all, a symphony written not with notes but with actions of kindness, respect, and collaboration. The tools for building this community are the same ones used to build a great orchestra: listening, balance, and teamwork. It requires every member to listen intently to the needs and perspectives of others. It demands a balance between individual desires and the collective good, ensuring that no single voice drowns out the rest. And it depends on teamwork, the shared understanding that success is a collective achievement. When these elements are present, a community begins to resonate with its own unique harmony. It becomes a place where people feel safe, supported, and empowered to contribute their best selves. This vision is the maestro's ultimate gift. He shows us that the pursuit of musical harmony is a metaphor for the pursuit of a better world. The patience required to tune an instrument is the same patience needed to resolve a disagreement. The focus required to follow a conductor is the same focus needed to work toward a common goal. By dedicating himself to the creation of beauty through sound, the maestro provides a living model for how we can create beauty in our lives and in our relationships. He reminds us that harmony is the foundation upon which everything else of value is built. In the end, the maestro's role is both simple and endlessly complex. His unique gift is to see the symphony hidden within the noise of everyday life. He looks at a diverse group of individuals, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, histories, and dreams. And he does not see chaos. He sees potential. He sees the raw material for a masterpiece. His talent lies in his ability to bring out the very best in each person, not by changing who they are, but by helping them find their perfect place within the whole. He shows them how their unique voice can contribute to a sound far grander than any they could produce alone. He is a weaver of connections, a bridge between people. Through his guidance, the fiery passion of the lead violinist learns to dance with the gentle melancholy of the oboe. The steady rhythm of the percussion section provides a foundation for the soaring aspirations of the brass. He fosters an environment where differences are not just tolerated, but celebrated as essential components of a rich and complex texture. He teaches that true unity is not about uniformity. It is about the skillful and respectful integration of diverse elements. This is his core lesson, both in music and in life. The harmony he creates is a powerful force for healing and connection. It reminds us of our shared humanity. When we listen to a symphony, we do not hear a German violin or a French horn. We hear human emotion expressed through sound. The music transcends the boundaries that so often divide us. The maestro's work is to channel this universal language, to create moments where an entire community can feel its collective heart beating as one. This is why his role is so vital. He is a guardian of unity in a world that is too often fragmented. The maestro's baton is more than a stick of wood. It is a wand that summons forth the best in us. It does not command but invites. It does not control but guides. It is a focal point for collective intention, a silent testament to the power of working together. His gift is to make us listen, not just to the music but to each other. He helps us find our harmony, balance our individual needs with the good of the group, and create something beautiful together. He is the living embodiment of the truth that we are and always will be better together.